How would you like to achieve financial independence and retire early? In this video, based on conversations I've had with multiple FIRE practitioners, I'm sharing the 4 key principles of the FIRE movement: financial independence, retire early, how they work, why they work. That's coming up in this video. Hi everyone, I'm Martin Bamford, a chartered financial planner at Informed Choice, and in this video I'm sharing 4 key principles of the financial independence retire early movement, or the FIRE movement. Now, FIRE is financial planning on steroids. It is an extreme form of retirement planning. It's designed to, as quickly as possible, help you realise financial independence and to retire from work as early an age as possible too. And from all the conversations I've had with FIRE practitioners through our podcast, Informed Choice Radio, I have identified recurring themes when it comes to FIRE. 4 key themes, 4 things that FIRE practitioners do that allow them to achieve financial independence at an early age, to retire earlier than is traditionally possible. Now, FIRE breaks with convention. It takes conventional financial planning wisdom, throws it out the window, and uses a far more aggressive form of financial planning. So FIRE is not for everyone, but for people who truly embrace it, it does seem possible to retire in your 30s, 40s or 50s, so earlier than typical retirement ages we see in 60s and 70s, and to achieve real financial independence. It gives you an awful lot of freedom and flexibility in terms of how you spend your time. So I'm going to explain the 4 key FIRE principles I've identified that seem common practice amongst FIRE practitioners. FIRE principle number 1 is to know your numbers, and in the FIRE community the number that's often bandied around is 4%. Now, 4% is what we know as the sustainable withdrawal rate. 4% is the amount you can comfortably withdraw from your pension or your investment pot year on year without too much risk of running out of money before you run out of life. In the UK, it's arguable whether 4% is the actual number or not. It's probably, based on the typical asset returns we see in the UK, closer to something like 2.8%. But 4% is often referred to, we hear about the 4% rule, and it's a sustainable withdrawal rate. It's not a safe withdrawal rate because there's still some risk involved that you'll take too much money out of your pot and you'll run out of money before you run out of life. But there is a risk when we do anything when it comes to money, and that's why we have to change our plans and review our assumptions as we go. But the 4% rule allows us to apply a multiple and achieve a target pot of investments, of pensions, to sustain the lifestyle we want later in life. All we do is multiply our target income level by 25 in the case of 4%. If we look at a sustainable withdrawal rate of 3%, then we need to multiply by 33. So take, for example, a target income level of £40,000 a year. Let's say that you need £40,000 a year to do everything you want in your life. That is your financial independence goal. If you assume a 3% sustainable withdrawal rate here in the UK, then you take that £40,000 target income, multiply it by 33 times, and you get your target level of savings or investment pot, 1.32 million. And you can do this for any number, any target level of income you have, and any withdrawal rate. Just divide the withdrawal rate by the number to get your target amount. Once you know your number, once you know your target pot, then you can go on a mission and you can start saving and investing to accumulate that amount of money. And once you reach it, then you've achieved financial independence. FIRE rule number 2 is to save or invest at least half of your income. And this is where we get to financial planning on steroids. Saving half or more of your income each month is quite a scary prospect for a lot of people. Here in the UK, the average savings ratio for a household in the UK at the end of last year was 6.2%. Now, there's some more recent research that suggests that we're saving a little bit more during the pandemic when we're all locked down. We can't go away on holiday, we can't go and eat out as easily as we could before, so we tend to save a lot more money during the pandemic. But before the pandemic, we were saving an average of 6.2%. And here I am telling you that if you want to achieve financial independence, you need to start saving at least 50%, preferably more. FIRE practitioners aim to save between 50 and 70% of their income each month. So how on earth do you save so much money each month? Do you invest so much money each month? And it's really about 2 things. Number 1 is frugality. So living more cheaply. If you spend less of your money on the everyday essentials, on your housing costs, on your cost of living, you have more money left over to spend. And if you spend less on discretionary expenditure, eating out, television subscriptions, all sorts of things you don't absolutely need to live, then you have more money left over each month to save towards that target. So part one of the savings equation is to cut your living expenses and live more frugally. Part two is to earn more, and that means either earning more through the job you do, so upskilling, getting more professional qualifications, taking on more skills, and then going for a pay rise, or starting a side hustle and bringing in a second income, so generating some income from other activities. And in the world of the internet, it is of course much easier today than ever before to start a side hustle, to start a second or a third or a fourth stream of income. And the goal with starting your side hustle and bringing in additional income should be to fill up your savings pot even faster, move from that average savings ratio of 6.2% as close as you can to 50% or 60% or 70% of your monthly income as savings. So that's fire principle number two, save at least half of your earnings each month. The third fire principle is to invest your money cheaply and simply. Now, from all the conversations I've had with fire practitioners, there seems to be a tendency to invest in low-cost global equity index tracker funds. Really the simplest type of investment you can possibly opt for. And I think the popularity of low-cost index trackers is for two main reasons. Firstly, I've said this before, but if investing is your hobby, you need a new hobby. Please don't become financially independent and find freedom from work only to start a new job as a full-time investment manager or financial planner, unless that's what you really want to do. Don't become a committed investment nerd. Find something more meaningful, something more purposeful in your life, rather than researching investment funds and looking for the next best thing. Really, you do need a new hobby if investing is your thing, if it's not your profession like it is mine. So firstly, people who are obsessed with investing money tend to make the worst investors because they're too close to it, they're too obsessed with the fine details, the daily movements, the ins and outs of the markets. So just take a step back, keep it simple for that reason. Secondly is the low cost aspect. And if you pay over the odds when it comes to investing your money, those charges are eroding your eventual returns. They're taking more away from that target pot of money you need to retire early, to achieve financial independence. So for those two reasons, that's why so many fire practitioners opt for low cost and simple investments like index trackers. That is not to say that there is not value in working with a financial planning professional. The best research I've seen on this comes from Vanguard, purveyors of low-cost index tracker funds, who ran the Advisor Alpha study, and they found that typically working with a good, competent financial planner can add an average of 3% a year to your investment returns. So all the wonderful things that we do for our clients around asset selection, helping them choose the lowest cost funds, the behavioural coaching, helping them to stay invested when markets are volatile, all of those many factors add up to typically around 3% a year of added returns when you work with a financial planner. So keep your investments simple, keep the costs low, but recognise the value of professional advice at the same time. And then fire tip number 4 is to have something to retire to. If you're going to retire in your 30s, your 40s, even your 50s, that is an awfully long time to be sitting around doing nothing. It will get dull very, very quickly. And we've had lots of conversations with fire practitioners. Not a single one has fully retired. They're all doing something. And typically they are writing books, they're making videos, they're building websites, they are traveling an awful lot, but all of them have purpose. In many cases, they're giving something back to the local community through volunteering projects, through various charitable endeavours, but they're doing something. The last thing you want to do is discover financial independence, retire early, and then end up on the golf course every day. That will soon get very, very dull, very boring. So have something to retire to, have a sense of purpose. That sense of purpose will also give you a real sense of identity, which is so important too. But please don't retire to the sofa. You will run out of things to watch on Netflix very quickly. You will start questioning the meaning of your life if all you do is watch television, do the crossword, do the occasional round of golf, and maybe go on a cruise once or twice a year. Have some real meaning and have something to retire to. So those are 4 steps towards financial independence, retire early, or FIRE. I think it's fair to say that anybody can achieve financial independence if they have a good handle on their numbers and they have a really clear sense of purpose. They have enough drive and ambition to save more, to invest this money, to build up that pot, get them to where they need to be. But really, if they understand the principles behind FIRE and they understand the principles behind low cost, cheap investing, simple investing. So anyone can achieve FIRE with the right motivation, with the right understanding. Let me know in the comments down below if you're on your FIRE journey and if you followed these 4 steps, if there are other things that you have done to achieve financial independence. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. I'm Martin Bamford. Thank you for watching this video. Until next time, when it comes to your money, the more you know, the faster it can grow.